Hey everybody, welcome back. It's me, Greg, aka the Free American Spirit, and today I want to talk to you about some carbon fiber shafts. The reason I'm going to do that is because if you remember in the last video, I was telling you about this shaft from Docks where this cam lock wasn't doing so great, and in addition to that, when you swing it, you can't really see it, but the coil will wobble a little bit. So I'm going to show you how we're going to fix that. Old Luna girl over there, don't know if you can see her, is enjoying a bone. And we will see what's in the box. What is in that box, Greg? Welcome back. For you that follow me, normally you know I put my little sponsorship here, which is myself. I sponsor myself and I ask for subs and likes and to share it and use my Amazon link. But I want to address a little problem that happened the other day. I got 2 comments from this guy. First was, I always figured it wasn't a good idea to beg and command people to like and sub all throughout a video. It's just annoying. Then his second one was, this guy begs for likes and subs all throughout his video. Capital L, capital A, capital W, D. Whatever that means. L-A-W-D. So I'm just going to make this real simple to you. Go pound salt, okay? There's 2 types of people on YouTube. Givers and takers. Givers like me, we don't shill stuff, we don't get all kinds of money, we're small little people. We buy products like this and give you our reviews on them. Okay, so you don't have to go out and waste a bunch of money if you don't like them, or if you do like it, you can buy it in confidence knowing that you're going to get something good. Then there's takers on YouTube. Takers just take stuff. They want people to work for free, to buy products for free, to spend their time making videos. And you know, how dare you ask for a sub or a like or to support a channel by using an Amazon link, which costs you absolutely nothing. They go crying like little babies to their mom and sit in their basement. And, that he's asking for likes and subs. Like I said, go pound salt. Now let's get back to what we're doing here. Today we're going to talk about these carbon fiber rods, and I'll take it out of the box and show you the main components. Alright guys, so here it is out of the box. Beautiful blue. A little shout out to Steve's Detector rods. I'll have a link in the description. But this particular model runs you about $200. If you like it, great, you buy it. If you don't, you save yourself some money. So I hope the little pansy guy doesn't have a conniption fit for me pushing Steve's, who I made no money on, and I don't know the guy, and I bought it with my own thing. But hey, please like and thumbs up and subscribe just for you, buddy. Anyways, it has 3 components. This is the lower rod. Off of the bat, I can tell you there's no little hole in here to drain it. However, there's also no holes up and down the shafts here where it connects. It would connect into this end here, so you're not getting a bunch of stuff in there. But I might call him up because he's very good about answering his emails or his messages, and see if it's safe enough to drill a little hole in here just to let a little water out if need be. But I'm not sure, you know, how strong these are because I've never used them, so I'm not going to do anything right at this moment. So you got the lower shaft, you have this upper shaft, and you have this cam lock, which will be very tight. Now I know you can't see this, but I'm going to try to hold this, and if I was to hold it way back here, let's see if I can get that to go up and hold it still, and then see that little wobble like that you can get that little play in there. Okay, so a lot of people don't like that. With this type of a cam lock over here, look at that thing go. With this type of cam lock over here, it'll take away any of that little wobble. Now, personally, I don't care about the wobble, but I am concerned, like I said in the last video, that had broke. So I thought, well, we'll just upgrade it, because the last thing I want to do is be over in the ocean and have my coil come undone. In addition to that cam lock, this is the hole where you would put the instrument, you know, the handle and the control unit, control panel, and then this is where you put the cuffs. The last part, and we're going to talk a little bit more in depth, this is a secret weapon. It's a counterweight, which I'll get into. That's kind of old school, but it's redone in a nice modern way. So let me get it put together on the table, and to do that, you will need a T25, see that? Little torque wrench or whatever you call them, torque bit in your screwdriver. because on your handle right there you got 4 little screws that you'll take off, and then that has a thumb screw for the cuff, so you don't have to worry about that too much. So let me get it assembled, and then I will talk more, especially about this feature. Hang on. I guess Luna Girl has better things to go sniff instead of eating her bone. But all right, that was nice and simple. I've got the control handle and unit mounted, 4 little screws, nice and easy, and of course the arm cuff, 1 little screw there. There's 4 of these holes to move this up and back, so you'll just have to play with it. And speaking of shilling, how dare Steve put his name on a detector rod? Oh my God, somebody might see that. My little sniveling buddy might have a conniption fit. But hey, little sniveling buddy, don't worry, it's on the bottom, so it really doesn't show off too bad. Steve may want to put it on top somewhere, but that's a nice little touch. Doesn't flash out, but if you want to tell people what kind of rod you got, there you go. I just wanted to show you that even though this carbon fiber rod is thinner in the wall circumference, maybe that's because it's a tougher material, it's still on the outside about the same, so you can fit your old rod in here. Okay, see there? So you can now put this, your old rod, on another coil, or you can just have it as a backup. So let me stick this in there and finish putting this together. This cam lock right here, to undo it you simply go like that, but there's a little screw here, so if you turn this, if it's not tight enough, just turn it one more time holding that little screw in the back, and then do it again. So this goes up so it, you know, is on the curb there. It'll get real tight. Don't over tighten it, you don't want to crush this, but it's not going anywhere once you do that, so it's in real snug. There you can see everything is now complete. I've left some slack right here so I can adjust my coil. I put the second little holder on there. I told you about these little Velcro straps, and of course this is for my swing sling thingy. Now because of this item right here, I can adjust this back and forth as needed, and I'll tell you why. What this is a counterweight. There's little screws here on the end. Let me see if I can get it undone, and I will install this to the back. But before I do, let me show you what's inside here. This little cap unscrews, okay, so it keeps all these little bags of lead pellets. That's what's in there. So I asked Steve to pack as many lead pellets as he can, and you can make this heavier or lighter depending on which pellets you want to put in there. You see they're different sizes, so you can mix and match. Now when I was telling you this is old school, it really is old school. Hey, winter chicken dinner, you know, but he streamlined it, made it really nice. You can put all the weights on, you can put some of the weights on, you can completely take this off when you don't want to use it at all. So let me screw it onto the back. I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll tell you the different ways to use this. It is old school, it is streamlined. I really like it. Give it a thumbs up, guys, and tell me in the comments what you think about it. When you're not using the weight, you have this little cover here, so that keeps junk out of your rod. That's a nice little feature. Don't forget to put it in your pocket, or actually in your finds bag, secure, so you don't lose that. All right guys, to understand how this works a little bit, I'm gonna have to go back through detector history just a while back for all of you like me who've been detecting quite a long time. If you remember in the beginning, detectors had a long shaft and they had a box mounted back here. Now on top of that box, sometimes it was below the shaft, sometimes above. They either had like a handle right here that you gripped onto, which made the thing really heavy, or it actually came out a little bit of front of the box. Let's just say that was the box, which made it a little bit better. Then somebody figured out you could take the shaft, they used to be aluminum back then, and bend it all the way around like this, and the handle would be about right here. So now, the handle being here and the heavier box being there, it was more of a counterweight. They also did it after they did the loop, and somebody came out with the handle up here, same thing. And then as we progressed, we had smaller control boxes that fit up here. Remember, they came with an S handle, which bent down here, went like this, and that kind of offset because you had the weight here, and then that S bend offset it because you had the grip down here and you could do all the controls with your thumbs. And then as we went even smaller, they had the handle now the control unit here. So what this all is doing is, the reason you have an arm cup is this is helping put some of the weight back towards your elbow, because right now the detector as it stands without this is all front heavy. It's got to be heavier so that goes down below the water. They may even be weighted on some models so that the coil stays submerged. Like with the White's PI, people will add weight a little bit to that, like I did with sandbags, because it's not quite as heavy as it needs to be. So now what this does is, because all of your pressure is on your wrist and forearm, it puts a lot of strain on your upper shoulder because it's nose heavy. So what this does is it brings weight back to where your elbow is, past your elbow. Okay, your elbow is like right here, right? And this is, so now it's acting as a counterbalance. So even though the machine itself is heavier, it kind of goes back to the old days where it's more balanced. So if you look at guys metal detecting like in the 60s and 70s with the big box machines, they detected all day long, even though the machine was 4 times as heavy as this, but they were better balanced. So in the old days, we used to have these, somebody actually made one of these, but we used to always just take like a big screw and drill a hole through our thing and then put a nut and bolt through it and put a bunch of washers on it, or a lot of guys would use fishing weights or something like that. Okay, and then eventually somebody came out with something similar to this, but it's not quite as nice as Steve's is. But the point being, now you can really balance this really, really well. And this also comes into play, like if you're up on land, you may not want a nose heavy machine, so you might want a lot of weight in this thing to keep it better balanced, okay, like a teeter-totter. If you're in the water, okay, you may want to use a little less weight in here so that more weight is towards the front, keeping your coil submerged. You know, if you're on the wet beach a little bit, you're going in and out of water, you might want to do a little in between. So when you get yours, if you decide to buy one of these or something similar, you're going to have to experiment a little bit with this weight, okay, and that'll depend on how far your arm cup is, how far this sticks past your elbow, plus, you know, this is only one spot here where it can go, but plus which coil you're using. So I might use a little less or a little more with my 15-inch coil in the water than I would with the 10-inch coil. And if I'm up on the ground, I'll use more weight because the coils are heavy by design, so I want to put a little bit more counterweight. But this will help out a lot because you're not muscling this area all with your forearm and wrist. Okay, this is balancing it some now, making it easier, and this weight is past your elbow, which is now just putting some weight like hanging straight down from your shoulder instead of constantly flexing, trying to keep, you know, the thing under control. You'll see what I'm talking about when you try one in your hand. So I'm really liking this weight on here. I like the colors of this. You know, I just got to mess around with the swing thing. You know, I'll get that where it's kind of balanced also, because that's going to affect this. So like I said, normally I just have this on. I'll have very little weight when I'm in the water, but the great thing is when I get out of the water, this can be in my pouch. I can just take it out, screw it in. It's a long-winded screw, which is kind of a pain to unscrew and screw back, but it's a good thing because, you know, it won't come loose really quick and then you'll lose it. So that's nice. Okay, I know this looks weird and maybe it's capturing it or maybe it's not, but that's about the balance point right there. Okay, if I took this off, you'll see I'm not going to do anything with my hand. You're just going to see it instantly. See how it falls like that? So now my balance point is way there. See there? Alrighty, that'll give you an idea of the counterweight, the teeter-totter effect. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but for my short little arm, I've got the arm cup all the way forward, and you can see the counterweight. See how it's sticking way past my elbow? That's kind of what you want. All right. So if you look, I mean, it's real simple now to control this. I'm going to have to let that coil out some. Okay, I'll have to let the coil out just a little bit because I'm not quite extended far enough. but feels really, really, really good. Now this is swinging the same thing, so I've got to hold it way up. It's higher up because it's not balancing right. So I've got to kind of, move my arm down a little bit to get it in the same spot to keep it where it's going. And you can see how it does come up on the edges more. So I like it, the counterweight, because it just feels better. It's easier to control. You may not like the extra weight. That's up to you. I wish you could try it in person to see what we're talking about, but if you got a shop that has one, great. Or if you're at home, just tie a bunch of fishing weights, stick something on the end and like tape a ruler to the end of your shaft and then put a bunch of fishing weights on there, about 8 inches past the end of the shaft, past your arm, your arm cuff, and maybe you'll see what I'm talking about. All right. So guys, that's about wraps this up for the video. If you like it, hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment. And for my little sniveling buddy, don't forget to share the video on all your favorite apps and whatever you want to call them, social platforms, and use that Amazon link to buy anything you want, because when you do, I get a small commission, costs you nothing, and helps me do reviews like this so that you can determine whether you want to spend your hard-earned money. Have a great day, guys. Bye.